Shri Gurubhyo Namah Harihi Om Dhyayamo Dhavalavagunthanavatim Tejomayim Naishtikim Snigdhapangavilokinim Bhagavatim Mandasmitashremukhim Vatsalyamritavarshinim Sumadhuram Sankirtanalapinim Shyamangim Madhusiktasuktim Amritanandatmikam Om Amriteshwaryai Namah Om Amriteshwaryai Namah Om Amriteshwaryai Namah. Om Amriteshwaryai Namah. Let us continue our discussion on Hanuman Chalisa. Rather, today would be the last session we would have with respect to the text Hanuman Chalisa that we have been discussing for a few months now. We've discussed so far verses until 40 of the 40 verses. Today we'll just look into the last Doha or the couplet and kind of just put the concept of bhakti yoga in context so that we kind of summarize more or less what we have discussed through all the verses of Hanuman Chalisa. So, going into the very last segment or the last session of Hanuman Chalisa, let's look into the last couplet, which goes as Pavan Tanay Sankat Haran Mangal Murti Roop Ram Lakhan Sita Sahit Hriday Basahu Sur Bhoop. So that's the only verse we're going to discuss today. So let's look into the pronunciation first. As always, please respond after me once. We'll do it in parts because we have 4 lines. We can do it in 8 parts all together. Please respond after me once. Pavan Tanay Pavan Tanay Sankat Haran Sankat Haran Mangal Murti Mangal Murti Roop Roop Ram Lakhan Ram Lakhan Sita Sahit Sita Sahit Hriday Basahu Hriday Basahu Sur Bhoop Sur Bhoop. So once the whole thing together, I'll pronounce it once. Please respond after me. Maybe just for convenience, we'll do two lines first and then the whole thing once. Because anyway, we have only one verse today. So we have a little more time to look into the verse compared to the other sessions we have had previously. So in 2 parts. Pavan Tanay Sankat Haran Mangal Murti Roop. Pavan Tanay Sankat Haran Mangal Murti Roop Ram Lakhan Sita Sahit Hriday Basahu Sur Bhoop. Ram Lakhan Sita Sahit Hriday Basahu Sur Bhoop. Now let us do once all together. Respond after me after I pronounce all the 4 lines. Pavan Tanay संकट हरण मंगल मूर्ति रूप, राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप। पवन तनय संकट हरण मंगल मूर्ति रूप, राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप. So let's look into the meaning word by word first. Pavan, Pavan translates to wind, or rather referring to the wind god, Vayudeva, Pavan. Tanay, child. So the child of Pavan, the child of the wind god. And we have discussed about Lord Hanuman, who usually get referred to as the child or the son of wind god, Vayu Putra or Pavan Putra, Pavan Tanaya, etc. Sankat, a term that we came across just a few weeks ago, Sankat, problems, complications, challenges, Sankat. Haran, one who annihilates, one who kind of dissolves. Problem, Sankat. Mangala Murati Roop. Mangala translates to auspiciousness. Murati, Murati's form, or Murati could also translate to an idol. So Mangala Murati, one who is the form of auspiciousness, Roop, the appearance. So your very form, appearance is that of, is an embodiment of auspiciousness. Ram, Lakhan, Sita. Ram, Lord Rama. Lakhan, brother Lakshmana. And Sita, Lord Rama's consort, mother Sita. Sahit, along with them. So along with Rama, Lakshmana and Sita, Hridaya Basahu Surubhup. Hridaya, heart, Basahu, dwell, just settle in my heart, along with Rama, Lakshmana and Sita. So we are requesting Hanuman to settle in our heart, along with Rama, Lakshmana and Sita. Sura Bhup, Sura translating to the Devatas, the demigods. Bhup, king, or the leader, the head, one who rules. So, O ruler, or the king of, or the mightiest of the Devatas, mightiest of the deities, along with Rama, Lakshmana and Sita, please dwell in my heart, or rule my heart rather. So that's the gist of this very last couplet of Hanuman Chalisa. We usually end the whole chanting with this. You know, the chanting happens with the beat, and then we sing this couplet, this Doha, without a rhythm, kind of concluding the chanting of the 40 verses. So Doha, like I mentioned, typically translates to couplet, combination of two lines. So Hanuman Chalisa ends with this Doha. So let's look into, as usual, dive a little more deep into what we can comprehend from this particular verse. So beginning with Pavan Tanay, son of wind god, son of Vayu. And we have discussed how the very first verse, Jai Hanuman Gyan Gun Sagar, Jai Kapi Satihu Lok Ujagar, Ramadut Atulit Baladhama. Sorry, the second verse, Anjani Putra Pavana Sutanama. Anjani Putra, one who is the son of Mother Anjani, and Pavana Sutta, one who is the son of the wind god, Vayudeva. We've discussed a bit in detail then, so I'm not going much in detail, just for us to refresh our memory. When we discussed about Pavana Sutta Nama, we discussed about the king Dasharatha, who is Lord Rama's father. He for a long time did not have any children, so he was worried about who would take over his kingship after him, who would be his successor. And then he performs this Putra Kameshti Yajna. Putra, child, son, child, Kama, desire, Kameshti, a strong desire, Yajna, an offering, a ceremony. So a ceremony that is performed so as to beget a child. So Dasharatha performs the Putra Kameshti Yajna, and then the presiding deity of the ceremony comes out of the fire and presents Dasharatha with payasam, sweet porridge, and his wives are supposed to consume it so as to get the blessings of the Putra Kameshti Yajna, and thereafter they would have children. So that's how the Putra Kameshti Yajna happens. And we discussed how in this process a bird happened to take a little bit of that payasam, and then it flies away and it drops the payasam. And when it drops the payasam, the wind god Vayudeva, who knew that Hanuman was supposed to incarnate along with Lord Rama so as to support him in his endeavor of upholding dharma, he carries the payasam to Mother Anjani into her hands, who was praying. She also was praying for a child, because Anjani and Kesari, they didn't have a child, and it falls into her hands. She consumes it. So Hanuman is born thereafter. That's why Lord Hanuman is also referred to as Vayudeva's son, though his biological father is Kesari, the mighty monkey king, or the mighty monkey warrior. So Hanuman is referred to as Vayu's son because of that. So I thought let's just brush our memory, just remember what we had discussed quite a few weeks ago now, a few months ago rather. But spiritually looking at it, when we talk about Vayu, wind, air, it remains extremely essential for life to exist, life to sustain on this face of earth. Right from our breath, mere breath is wind, is air, is powered by wind, air. The prana, the life force within us is supported by, or is carried by, the air. So right from as subtle as that to sustaining the whole creation, the environment to sustain the way it is. If we lack air, there's a big imbalance that gets created. A vacuum gets created, and the creation won't be the way it is. It is going to cease to exist. So air or wind plays a very important role. So Pavanatanaye, one who is the son of that wind god, we need to ever be grateful to the Lord of wind. So that's one way of looking at it. And then Lord Hanuman actually carries the traits of wind, of Vayudeva. He could go anywhere at his wish, any moment. He could travel the longest of distance in a jiffy. He could just go like that. And more importantly, what we need to take notice of when we talk about wind or air is all around us. I have air right here around me. I can do whatever. I can cut through it when I move my hand. When I sway, I am kind of displacing air. Air is literally around me. It is kind of insignificant. It's just there. I am pushing. I want to be here in this moment. I want to sit in the air. I displaced the air and came and sat here, right? I mean, there is air within me too. That's a different question. But air as such is very simple. It has no properties. It has no shape. It has no taste. It has no smell. It is just as simple as an element of the creation could exist. Air is very simple. But this very same air, when it exhibits its power, when it blows like a tornado, when it blows like during a typhoon or hurricane, that's completely different. The same air which is so insignificant, so simple and humble, When it shows sheer power, it can uproot the biggest of trees. It can completely level a whole huge structure. A big building can come down like stack of cards. It can just come down, a castle of cards. It can just completely come down. It holds no significance in front of that might of wind. So one of the traits that Hanuman carries from Vayudeva is he's humblest among the humble. At the same time, when time deems it to show his power, he is the most powerful of the powerful people. He is mightiest of the mighty. So that's something we need to learn from Vayudeva and through Hanuman, who carries the trait of Vayudeva. To as in the path of bhakti, when we are trying to be a bhakta, when we are trying to follow the path of devotion, we should learn to be humblest among the humble. At the same time, when dharma calls for it, when we have to uphold dharma, we should never hesitate in exercising the might, the potential, the power that we have. We should definitely exhibit that too, make use of that, exercise that too. At the same time, we also should make it a point or make note of, when you say dharma shouldn't be something that we selfishly define. Defining dharma is a difficult thing. It's a complicated process. So we can always say, I find this dharma, so I'm using my might to fight against it. We definitely need to verify whether my definition of dharma in a given situation is right or not. So that's secondary, but I just wanted us to think about it. When you say exhibit your might, we sometimes take just that and we forget about the dharma aspect. So when you say we exhibit our might, we should definitely be aware of what exactly is dharma, what is right, what is appropriate in that moment, and then exhibit our might and exercise our power. So when we are following the path of bhakti, Hanuman reminds us, be humblest of anyone possible. At the same time, when the situation demands, be strong, be courageous, be as mighty as we could gather up from our potential. So that's what we learn from that's something we need to remind ourselves when we say Pavana Tanaya or Pavana Putra, Lord Hanuman, who is the son of the wind god. So Pavana Tanaya Sankata Harana. Sankata Harana, one who helps us get rid of problems, troubles and tribulations. So we actually discussed that the last week, and we discussed that the week before too. So I'm not touching upon that topic. We literally discussed in detail. We were looking into many different aspects of interpreting that. So I'm not going there. So Pavanatanaya Sankata Harana. The next line is Mangalamurati Roop, one who is the embodiment of auspiciousness, one who is verily auspiciousness personified. What does it mean when we say auspiciousness? We go somewhere, we say, oh, I feel so auspicious here. We go somewhere, we say, it seems inauspicious here. So auspiciousness, what exactly is auspiciousness? Auspiciousness is when all the factors that contribute to a given situation, when all those factors fall in place, we call it auspiciousness. We say, let's have an auspicious beginning. Say I'm going from here for a satsang today, or I'm going to a temple, or I'm going for an occasion, say a special event. Someone is going for their wedding ceremony, or someone is going for taking a very important exam. And it's a typical thing. You leave from home, and it's a very it's one way blind belief. We can frame it like that, but just to understand the concept of auspiciousness. When someone is leaving home, I'm going to write my exam, and someone sneezes, they'll be like, oh my God, an inauspicious sign here. Why did you sneeze when I left? Or you're trying to leave and you stumble over, or you trip over the door sill, and then you'll be like, oh my God, that's a bad omen, not auspicious. Or you try to start your car doesn't start. You're like, let me go back home, drink a sip of water, and then start again. It's just a belief. But all these various factors do play a role in how my heart would say something is auspicious or not. So when we say something is auspicious, basically all these factors fall in place. When all the factors fall in place, we interpret it as it has happened auspiciously, right? When we look from the point of devotion, bhakti, auspiciousness is grace, blessing in its fullest potential. Grace completely, there is never anything lacking in grace. Rather, we should be open to that grace. When we are able to have that full potential to receive the grace in its, when we are receptive to grace in its fullest potential, we call it auspiciousness. So grace is all these factors falling in place. Like Amma says, we need divine grace. We need our own grace too. Amma says we need God's grace and we need our own grace. We have discussed this many times now. Any situation, when we talk about factors that play a role in the given situation, there are three kinds of factors: adhyatmikam, adhibhautikam, and adhidaivikam. Atmikam referring to our own self. All the factors that are pertaining to our own self, our mood, our attitude, the memories that we have, whether we are humble, whether we have a selfish motive, whether we are pessimistic, whether we are positive minded in that given situation, it definitely plays a role in how the situation is going to unfold. Because the way we react to that given situation, the situation is going to be different. The way it unfolds, the way we encounter the situation. So we need our own grace, like Amma says. We need to have everything fall in place. Sometimes we want certain things to be in certain way, and like I mentioned, it happens quite often. I'm going to write an exam and then the car doesn't start, and people sometimes take it as an inauspicious beginning, and later the car starts, but still it will keep lingering in their mind. Oh my God, the car didn't start in my first try. There's something bad that's going to happen. So sometimes we cannot help these things happen in our mind. Mind is not always in our control. So first have grace that our own factors fall in place. Adhi atmikam. Adhi bhautikam is the second one. Bhautikam basically refers to the physical realm. Things and people around us, they also should be conducive. People around us, their attitude, their understanding, their acceptance, their support, or their, on the other side, on the flip side, it would be their opposition, their hatred towards us, or their lack of support, their misunderstanding. All those could play a spoil sport in the given situation. So, and then things, anything can happen in this very moment. I can get electrocuted with this from this mic, or the computer can just fail, that is in front of me, where I have a few points that I write so as to remind me, or the webcast system could just shut down and the stream stops. Any of these could happen. So bhautikam are these factors around me. They are not completely under my control, but I can still somehow tackle with them and find a way around or bring them back under control. So adhyatmikam is in my control. I can definitely overcome that with my mind. Adhibhautikam is not completely under my control, but can be brought under control. And then adhidaivikam are those factors that are beyond me, beyond the physical realm. They are beyond our control. And these are the factors if they need to fall in place, what we need is grace. Amma says kripa. And how do we get those grace? How do we get that grace? We get it being like Lord Hanuman. He sets the example of how he was always abundant with grace, because he exhibited all these qualities that a true devotee needs to have, a true devotee should have, right from humility to selflessness to dedication to acceptance, to patience, to understanding. All these qualities, when he practices it in his life, he has shown how auspicious he is. He has all the factors fall in place. When things get difficult in going for others, Hanuman always came to the rescue. We have discussed so many incidents from Ramayana and folklores, right? So Hanuman is a perfect example of how we should be to get grace in its fullest potential. So when you say someone is embodiment of auspiciousness, it's basically getting grace, being receptive and being deserving of grace. And if you're truly a devotee, when we develop true devotion, it will be auspiciousness wherever we go. Wherever we go, we will only see auspiciousness within us and around us. Mahatmas are like that. Hanumanji is the example that we just gave. And for us to experience it firsthand, wherever Amma goes, Mahatma like Amma, wherever they go, there is always just celebration. There is joy. There is bliss. It never happens that Amma is visiting Washington, D.C. this time. Let's get ready to cry and sulk and be sad. That's not how it is. Whenever Amma comes, it is an occasion to be joyous. It is an occasion to be blissful. That's how it is. Wherever Mahatmas go, it will be blissful and joyous always around. And it's not just Washington, D.C. Amma may go to New York the next day. Amma may go to India the next week. Amma may go to South India. Amma may go to Tamil Nadu. Amma may go to Gujarat. Wherever she goes, that's the case. It's just a joyous environment. A true one who has, mastered the path of devotion, bhakti yoga, will ever have auspiciousness within them and will have auspiciousness around them. I'm reminded of, this is not my first-hand experience, it's just hearsay, whatever little I've heard about one of the programs that was organized in here in Washington, D.C. Some years ago. I was still in India back then. I think many years ago now. When you say some years ago, at least 20 plus years ago now. So Amma's program was supposed to be held in Washington, D.C. I think no venue could be finalized. And because no venue could be finalized, there was always this uncertainty about Amma coming here. And then it also happened that Amma had to go to Barcelona during the summer tour that year. And then Amma went to Barcelona and came back. So it was decided there will be only one-day program. And it happened to be in the state of Maryland in a city called Glen Burnie. And a hall was secured. It was ready to be used. So when the organizers and the volunteers went there, the hall was quite in a pitiable situation. It was not very clean. It was full of mold, and probably the people who used it before did not leave it in the best condition. And one of the people who described it to me was telling me it just felt like a dark feeling, something that is not auspicious, something that just doesn't feel nice. And to have Amma's program there, it just didn't feel appropriate at all. How can we have Devi Bhava there? How can we have Amma do Atma Puja there? It just doesn't feel appropriate at all. There is just lack of auspiciousness. And then the organizers and the volunteers, everyone springs into action. And by the time Amma comes, they kind of transform the place, literally do deep cleaning and get the place ready for Amma. Then they carpet the place and stage is set up, all the arrangements are done. And once Amma comes, the place is completely transformed. So there were many factors that day that weren't falling in place. First of all, the whole place just felt not very positive. And then we were supposed to share the hall with another event happening parallelly. And the event, I guess, it was a wedding event wherein a lot of music and a lot of noise is going to get created. And here we're going to meditate, do Atma Puja and Devi Bhava. So altogether contrary to that. And then it seems there was no space in that hall for dining. So they had to organize it outside. And that day was quite hot. And it just didn't feel right to have dining outside. People wouldn't be comfortable at all. So everything seemed out of place. everything didn't seem to fall in place. So that's what we refer to as factors not falling in place, lack of grace, so inauspicious. But then, with the effort of the organizers, the volunteers, the place got transformed. And by the time Amma came, when Amma came in, there was this huge, palpable difference. And Devi Bhava happened. The party that was happening in the other side of the hall, they kind of wrapped everything up. They thought it would go much longer, but they just wrapped everything up before Devi Bhava was over. They were gone too. And their space was also available for Amma's program. And then outside, though it was super hot, all of a sudden it just became very pleasant and was perfect for outdoor food, outdoor dining. And even that felt like a beautiful experience, sitting out and eating. So this is what, again, I should have the disclaimer. I just heard of this. I wasn't physically there back then. I hadn't moved to the US back then. But then, if you look at it from these 3 points of view, Adhyatmikam, Amma is going to come and perform the program, Devi Bhava, Atma Puja, etc. Amma's Atmikam, Amma's factors with respect to herself, there is no doubt, there is full of bliss, positivity and auspiciousness. There's no doubt in that. And we discussed, it is kind of contagious. It is contagious, right? Amma's joy, Amma's bliss is contagious. Everyone around her, they also experience it, and they experience it, and they also, start getting converted into that mood. So Adhyatmikam is completely in place for Amma. Adhi Bhautikam, Amma is coming there, and what happens? You ask a bunch of people to go and clean a hall, you think they'll do it happily? They wouldn't. But when they know Amma is going to come there, their attitude completely changed. Now they have become janitors, they have become cleaners, they have become deep cleaners, they have become, carpet cleaners. They don't mind doing that, and they transform the place. So Adhi Bhautikam, to have people around us, things around us fall conducive, become conducive, and those factors falling in place also happened. And then Adhi Daivikam, the other event that was supposed to happen, that was kind of going to be disruptive in nature, that just got over even before Devi Bhava started. The weather outside became conducive. All these are Adhi Daivikam factors. They also fell in place. Overall, the program went very well, was a success. So wherever a Mahatma goes, because of their positivity within them, because of the auspiciousness within them, wherever they go, that environment also becomes auspicious. So that's why we were looking at the factor when we say, the point when we say Lord Hanuman is Mangalamurati Rupa. He is the embodiment of auspiciousness. We should remember, we need to develop that auspiciousness within us, the positivity within us, and that automatically would transform the environment that we are in. That's why Amma says, Paristhiti Matan, Manasthiti Matanam. To change the surrounding, change your attitude, change your mindset. Automatically, it will change the surrounding. It would change the environment. So Hanuman, Amma, they set the right example for us, how to be an embodiment of auspiciousness. Just with goodness in us, that itself will transform the environment that we are in. That's why we refer to it as godliness, or we say it feels divine. It's that goodness in us which manifests as divinity. So, Pavanatanayi Sankat Haran Mangal Murati Roop. Then the last line, the last 2 lines, Ram Lakhan Sita Sahit Hriday Basahu Surabhup. Along with Rama, Sita and Lakshmana, settle in my heart, O Lord of the Devas, Lord of the Devatas. Oh, so rather telling Hanuman to rule my heart, along with Rama, Lakshmana and Sita. And we just discussed this the last week. When you say, Hanuman, settle in my heart, Hanuman, rule my heart, Hanuman is least interested in ruling our heart. He's not looking forward to having a remote control wherein he has all these slaves and he's going to control each one of us, telling, do this for me, do that for me. For the state that, spiritual state that Hanuman is in, he's least interested in ruling anything. He's humblest among the humble, is what we discussed. He's least interested in that. So when we say Hanuman should rule my heart, it is those qualities that Lord Hanuman stands for. They should rule our heart. Rather, our heart should become the very abode of all those positive qualities that Lord Hanuman represents. Our thoughts, our words, our actions should be ruled by those qualities, should be influenced by those positive qualities. Thereby, our words, actions, and thoughts benefit others and benefit us. So that's what it means when we say, oh Hanuman, rule my heart. And here it's not just saying, oh Hanuman, rule my heart. You say, Hanuman, rule my heart along with Lord Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana. Lord Rama is Lord Vishnu's incarnation. He's the supreme in a human form, embodied in a human form. So Lord Rama alone is enough. As a matter of fact, we just need Lord Rama's form. We don't need Sita, Lakshmana, and Hanuman. We can always just focus on Lord Rama. He represents all the great qualities that we talk about, and that is enough. We can, typically when Lord Rama's picture is shown, there is always Mother Sita, there is brother Lakshmana, and then there is devotee Hanuman along with him. Why do we need that? Lord Rama's form itself is good enough. Why do we need Lakshmana, Sita, and Hanuman is the question here. Lord Rama, his form is good enough. It's enough to reflect on all the qualities Lord Rama represents. So why do we need the other three forms? It is to remind us that the divine is standing there. Lord Rama is standing there. But what should be my attitude is what the other three forms represent. So when we look at the form, it should not just be about the greatness of Rama. Rather, it should also be about how should I be towards the Lord. That's what Lakshmana, Sita, and Hanuman represent in the image. So as we try to grow spiritually, we go from Lord Rama's form alone to Lord Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, and Hanuman's form. So that's where our beginning should be. And Amma says if we want to grow spiritually, we should have three factors or three qualities: Shraddha, Bhakti, and Vishwasam. Shraddha, Bhakti, Vishwasam. What is Shraddha? Shraddha is complete awareness. Bhakti, devotion. Vishwasam, faith. So we need awareness, we need devotion and dedication, and we need faith. And that's what Hanuman, Lakshmana, and Sita represent. So we have Mother Sita. Now, Lord Rama represents the supreme soul, the Paramatman, the supreme consciousness, the supreme soul, Paramatman. And Sita is the indispensable form or indispensable part of the supreme soul. She represents the Jivatma. Usually the depiction of a form along with the consort represents this very quality or this very message. The Jivatma and the Paramatma, the supreme soul and the individual soul, are one and the same. We are just infinitesimal part of the supreme soul. We are one with the supreme soul. The whole spiritual journey is about realizing the individual soul is one with the supreme soul. So Rama and Sita represent that. And if you look at Ramayana, Rama was banished into an exile of 14 years in the forest. And Mother Sita didn't have to do that. She wasn't punished to go into the forest, but she chose, being an ardent wife, she chose, wherever my husband goes, I will go along with him. I'm very sure I'm going to face hardships. being in a forest for 14 years. Think of living outside our home, even going to a hotel and living, we find it difficult. Telling, I want my specific pillow, I want my own comforter. I fall asleep only if I have my teddy bear next to me, staring at me all throughout the night. Many people have that. So just getting out of that comfort zone is a difficult thing for us. And here there is someone who didn't really have to. She could have always pitied and sympathized with Lord Rama and telling, please take care of yourself, meet you after 14 years. She didn't do that. She decided she will go along with him and live in those hardships. Think about you're lying down somewhere in the forest and suddenly a reptile or a snake slithers beneath you. Or there may be wild animals that can attack you. There may be spiders and insects. It's not going to be a pleasant experience. Mother Sita says she doesn't care about any of these. I will go with you, and when you are with me, I trust that I will be completely safe in this challenging environment that I'm getting into. So it is about that trust. It is about that faith that I will be happy and I will be safe when I am with my Lord. So Vishwasam is what Mother Sita represents. Three things, right? Amma talked about Shraddha, Bhakti, Vishwasam. So we're going backwards. We're starting with Vishwasam. Mother Sita represents Vishwasam. And then comes brother Lakshmana. Even he had no need to go to the forest at all. He was never banished into the forest. He wasn't sentenced into going into the exile at all. Lakshmana, right from his young age, Mother Sumitra, his biological mother, ever trained him to be an ardent younger brother, ever devoted to his elder brother, and ever support his elder brother. And he lived up to it. He had that devotion, he had that dedication, that I was with him all this while, and now he is going into exile, he is going to go through hardship, I will be there to support him in spite of that. And that was his dedication, and he went with Lord Rama. So that is the message of devotion and dedication. And third is Hanuman in that image, right? Third one is Lord Hanuman. Hanuman, all throughout all the verses that we have discussed, we discussed about him being a kind of an amalgamation of all these qualities put together. All the qualities right from bhakti, dedication, patience, understanding, broad-heartedness, etc. Right? That's what we refer to as Shraddha. We have discussed in the past, Shraddha, when you say Shraddha, it could be just vaguely translated into awareness. But when we say awareness, what does it mean? That anything that we venture into or any situation that we face, anything that we do in any given situation, we do it with complete concentration. We are least distracted and we are focused on that. We have faith and trust in people who are involved and things that are involved. We have trust in our own self that yes, I can do it. Faith in ourselves to respect people and things involved and to respect our own ability, to have the right attitude, to have a positive attitude, to be patient, to have the attitude of acceptance, to act with awareness and be conscious of what is in me, what is around me, and then act accordingly. When these are just some of the examples. When we put all of these together is when we say, I acted with Shraddha. So when you say, I acted with awareness, we should have all these qualities put together. And Hanuman is verily the embodiment of that. We have discussed that throughout the Hanuman Chalisa. So we have Shraddha, Hanuman, Bhakti, Lakshmana, Vishwasa, Sita. Lord Rama is anyway there. So when Lord Rama is there, the relationship of bhakti, the bond of bhakti becomes complete only when we have the Lord. Along with the Lord, we should have Shraddha, Bhakti, Vishwasam. We should complement the divine grace with Shraddha, Bhakti, Vishwasam. Only then the bond becomes complete. So that's what Ram Lakhan Sita Sahit Hriday Basahu Surabhup. You dwell within me or rule my heart along with Rama, Lakshmana and Sita. So I want the Lord, I want grace, but along with grace, to make use of the grace, I will exhibit Shraddha, Bhakti, Vishwasam from my side. That's what the whole image represents, with all the four forms in that. Without Shraddha, Bhakti, Vishwasam, how much of a grace we have, it's going to be of no use. It's like the example Amma says, the sunlight may fall onto our home, but if we keep the windows closed or if we draw the curtains, sunlight will never come inside. Similarly, grace is always available. When do we tap into the potential of grace? Is when we exercise Shraddha, Bhakti, Vishwasam. Grace is like the $100 note. Say we have a US dollar denomination $100 bill with us, and we go to the remotest African village, or we go to the remotest Indian village, or any other country, right here in Mexico. You go to Mexico with a $100 village, $100 bill, and you go to one of the remotest place with $100 bill, and you say, I have $100, I can do whatever I want with it. You think we can do so? You go to an Indian village, give them $100, they'll be like, what is this? I don't even recognize what this bill is, what this note is. They won't even recognize what it is. We are not going to get any food or anything with that. To use that $100 there, we need to translate that or convert that into the local currency. Only then will that $100 be of any use. Not that the $100 bill doesn't have any value there. $100 is $100 even in India, Africa, Australia, wherever we are. $100 is $100. So grace is grace. There is no discounting of that fact. But to use the grace, we need to convert it into that given situation so that it becomes usable. For that, we need Shraddha, Bhakti, and Vishwasa. So Lord Rama is always there. What we need is to kindle within us Sita, Lakshmana, and Hanuman. Talking about the divine and the devotee. Here we are trying to give emphasis to the devotee here more than the divine. Because divine is anyway there. We are taking it for granted. What is more important to grow spiritually is the devotee in us should awaken. Right? There is a story in Ramayana. This is not part of the original Ramayana. It's like a folklore, a version of Ramayana. So, Rama along with his Vanara Sena, the army of monkeys, now they have come to the shores of south of India, and now they have to cross across the ocean to get to Lanka, to get to Sita. So now Lord Rama deputes Nala and Nila. There are two monkeys. Nala is the architect in the monkey kingdom, and his twin brother Nila. So Nala and Nila, right? Both of them they take up the charge of building the bridge, designing the bridge, and then put it into action and build the bridge. And they come up with this design, and they want this buoyant rocks. Rocks, if they put it, it'll just sink. So they want to create some amount of buoyancy in it so that it stays afloat to some extent. And it seems, who comes to their rescue? Hanuman comes to their rescue. So it seems Lord Rama comes the next day and sees that they are throwing these stones into it, and they have made a design and architecture, and Lord Hanuman is helping them, process the stones, the rocks in such a way that they get some amount of buoyancy and they float. And Lord Rama is quite amazed. How are they making the rock float? So he takes a few rocks and he throws them into the ocean, and they just drown. They don't float. But looks like all the rocks that get treated or processed by Hanuman and his team, they float. And Rama thinks, I'm not able to do it. He's able to do it. How is that possible? And he goes up to Hanuman and asks him, how are you able to do it? What are you doing with the rock? And Hanuman says, all we do is inscribe your name on that rock. And when there is Rama on it and we throw it into the rock, it floats. Rama is unable to do it. Hanuman is able to do it. So who is better off here, Rama or Hanuman? If you look at that situation, Hanuman is better off. The devotee is better off than the Lord himself. So does that mean the Lord is inferior to the devotee? We also have the Srimad Bhagavatam, wherein Lord Krishna says, Aham bhakta paradhina. I am subjugated to my devotees. I am of service to my devotees. He asvatantra iva dvija. He is referring to dvija, he is referring to a Brahmin. He is telling him that I am subjugated to my devotee. I am not independent. I am not free. I don't have free will. I am subjugated to my devotee. Sadhu bhi grasta hridayo. I am under the clasp, or I am under the control of the heart of a true sadhu, one who has completely overcome ego. I am under the control of that heart, which is sans ego. Bhaktair bhakta janapriya. I am fond of the devotee of my devotee. I'm not just fond of my devotee. Not just my devotee is dear to me, my devotee's devotee is dear to me. So the Almighty Krishna, who is capable of anything, he is the incarnation of Lord Vishnu, the sustainer of the creation. Lord Krishna says, the Almighty me, when it comes to a devotee, I am subjugated to the devotee. The devotee controls me. And we discussed this this last week. We read the excerpt from Awakened Children. We'll just read the first line, the main part. Awakened Children, Volume 1, page 144, wherein a brahmachari asks Amma, is God servant of the devotee? And Amma says, yes, he is the servant of a true devotee. True in double quotes. God is the servant of a true devotee. So coming back to the point, does that mean God is inferior to the devotee? That's not what is what is conveyed here. Lord is the Lord because he is the Lord, because he is the supreme. There is no doubt in that, and there is no in no way we want to discount that fact. The divine is the ultimate. What is important in this context is when I am trying to develop devotion, what is most important now is devotion for me. It's like I'm going from here, the DC ashram, to Dulles Airport. If I'm going from MA Center DC to Dulles Airport, what is most important for me now is Dulles Airport. I want to reach Dulles Airport for sure. Yes, that is my ultimate goal. But what is important for me now? My bag is important. All I need to pack needs to be inside the bag, which is important. I need to have a car to go there or a vehicle to go there. That is important. And the road is important at that very moment. Because without any of these, I won't be able to reach Dulles Airport. Dulles Airport is the ultimate goal. There is no discounting the fact. But for me to get to Dulles Airport, what is important? My bag, my road, my car, etc. Similarly, Lord Rama is the ultimate goal. The Lord is the ultimate goal. But to get there, what is most important for a devotee is bhakti, is the path to get there. So all these incidents, they underscore the importance of bhakti. They don't discount the importance of the Lord, but they underscore that what is most important for you now in this stage is bhakti. You need devotion to get there. Give importance to that. And that's why Lord Rama is unable to do it. Hanuman is able to do it. But how is Hanuman able to do it? With Lord Rama's name, not with his own name or anything else. With Lord Rama's name, he is able to make the rock float. So, so there is no way we are discounting the fact that the Lord is the supreme, the ultimate. What we are trying to do is to emphasize on the fact that the path to get there is also important. That is the significance of the form with Lord Rama, Hanuman, Sita and Lakshmana. They represent the path to get to Lord Rama. And Hanuman has set the right example when he followed that path, followed the path of devotion, he is revered as equal to Lord Rama today. We go to a temple, we'll have Lord Rama's idol. We also have Hanuman's idol that get worshipped in a similar way. So he became one with Lord Rama. It's not that he became bigger than Lord Rama or Lord Rama became equal to him. They just are the embodiment of the same Supreme Soul. Hanuman realized that, got to that state. That's why we worship Hanuman as much as we worship Lord Rama. So that's what is the significance when we say, dwell within me, rule my heart along with Rama, Lakshmana, Sita. Why do we need all these four forms? Lord Rama definitely is the ultimate, but to reach the ultimate, we need the other three qualities. That's what the three forms of Sita, Lakshmana, and Hanuman represent, and we should always be reminded of that. So it's like a reminder for us, the path of bhakti. So Lord, that picture of Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, and Hanuman, it literally is the representation of the path of bhakti. That is what is bhakti yoga. And I feel that is more or less the gist of the message of Hanuman Chalisa. We need to develop Shraddha, Bhakti, Vishwasam. Like Amma says, we need to develop awareness, devotion and dedication, trust and faith. That will take us to the ultimate goal. So that's what the whole image represents. So that's all what I have to discuss with respect to this. Let's just quickly go over the table, the last row, the Doha. So what, let's summarize the spiritual message that we have to understand Bhakti through Hanuman Chalisa, the last Doha. What did we discuss? We discussed that as a devotee, we should always try to be humblest of the humble. But at the same time, that doesn't mean, when you say become humble, doesn't mean become a weakling. We are not weaklings. We are just being humble. And when the situation demands, we should definitely exercise our potential. We should exercise our might. And that should be to uphold dharma. We should keep that in mind. 2, we create auspiciousness and grace with our own thoughts, our own words, our own actions. We create grace. We make grace available to us. Grace is ever there. We make it available to us, and factors automatically start falling in place. And like Amma says, grace is always there. To make it available, we need Shraddha, Bhakti, and Vishwasam. Awareness, devotion, dedication, and faith. These three will take us to the ultimate goal. So that kind of summarizes the path of bhakti. So I thought this verse was quite appropriate, being the last one, because when you talk about that form of Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, and Hanuman, it kind of summarizes the path of bhakti, bhakti yoga. So with that, we'll come to an end to the discussion of Hanuman Chalisa altogether. We discussed the first Doha, the 40 verses thereafter, and then the last Doha. We had 2 sessions of introduction. So with this, we'll come to an end and conclude the discussion on Hanuman Chalisa. I hope the discussion was fruitful, was meaningful. Any questions, comments you have, always feel free to touch base with me. MA Center EC, East Coast, MACENTEREC @gmail.com. We can discuss further about it if and when required. So we'll conclude the Hanuman Chalisa discussion here. The next discussion session will be after a small gap. I'll be going to Amritapuri next month, so I thought rather than having a disruption, we'll start after that. Anyway, stay tuned. If you're not part of the Google groups, again, shoot an email to MACenterEC, MACENTEREC for East Coast @gmail.com, and we will add you to the mailing list so that you're aware when we start the next scripture, the next text that we will discuss. So it'll be after a gap, so stay tuned and don't go away. Do come back when we have the next text that we discuss. thanks for your patience. Thanks for your understanding. Thanks for joining us every week with some gaps here and there. It was definitely a great experience and joy doing this with all of you. Om Amriteshwariyai Namah. We'll now chant or sing Hanuman Chalisa like the last week. I need to go down to play the harmonium to sing along. So give us a couple of minutes. We'll quickly settle down and then we will sing the Hanuman Chalisa together. Om Amriteshwariyai Namah. श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारि बरना रघुपर बिमल जसु जो दायक फल चारि बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरा पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन वरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजय कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजय शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणीयति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम जय हनुमान सिया जय हनुमान। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाय संजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बढ़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई। सहस बदन तुम्हरो जस गावै, हस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावै। जन सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कहि सकै कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम, जय हनुमान। सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम, जय हनुमान। दो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भाना, लील्योताहि मधुर फल जाना। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि, जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सम्हारो आपै, तीनों लोक हांकते कापै। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम, जय हनुमान। सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम, जय हनुमान। नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावै, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावै। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावै, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावै। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा, है परिसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहा रघुपति के दासा। सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम, जय हनुमान। सिया नर देवता चित्त न धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंधे महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साकी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजे नाथ हृदय महडेरा। कीजे नाथ हृदय महडेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुरभूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। ओ माता सीता की जय, ओ माता सीता की जय। ओ भ्राता लक्ष्मण की जय, ओ भ्राता लक्ष्मण की जय। भरत और शत्रुघ्न की जय, भरत और शत्रुघ्न की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। हसतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय। मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om.